Hello everyone. In this video, I will show how to obtain the collector characteristic curve of bipolar junction transistor by using PSpice AD Lite. In the PSpice AD Lite window, click on File, followed by New. After that, click on New. Select the text file option. In the netlist file, the first line is always reserved for comment, usually to describe its contents. In this video, I want to plot the collector characteristic of BJT for the different base current settings, ranging from 0 ampere up to 16 microamperes. Therefore, the appropriate comment for this file is BJT collector characteristic. This is the circuit used in writing down the netlist. Each node is labeled accordingly. The netlist of base current, IB, is written as 0, followed by 1, DC, and 16 microamperes. This is because the base current is of DC type. And I want to plot the collector characteristic curve of up to IB equals 16 microamperes. Meanwhile, the 0 and 1 are the node number of this source. After that, write the netlist for the transistor, Q2, N3904. It is inscribed in this sequence: the collector pin, followed by the base pin, and the emitter pin. This is why the pin node is in the sequence of 2, 1, and 0. For voltage source, VC, its netlist is written as 2, 0, DC, 10 volts. The 2 and 1 refer to its positive and negative terminals, while DC to indicate the type of source. Since I want to plot the collector characteristic of BJT transistor for the different base current settings, therefore the dot step command is used. Write dot step, followed by the start value of 0 ampere, the end value of 16 microamperes. Then, the value per step, I choose 2 microampere. Once it is done, write the other commands. .EC with the start value of 0 volt, the end value of 6 volts, and the step value is set to 0.1. .LIB to retrieve the library database of the components in the netlist. Meanwhile, .probe and .plot are used in order to trace and plot any signals that are required. Then, we end the text by writing down .end. After that, save the file. Click File followed by Save. Here, I save it as BJT characteristic with circuit files option. To run the simulation, press the green arrow button. But right now, the button is not active. Thus, we would not able to simulate the file. To activate the button, close the netlist file before reopen it. To reopen the file, click File, followed by Open Simulation. Next, choose Circuit Files.cir. Now, the Run button has turned green. Press this button to start the simulation. A window of the available sections appears. Since I want to display the collector characteristic curve for all the listed base current, therefore I choose All. Click OK. Then, the BJT characteristic.dat window comes into view. It contains an empty plot. To obtain the required graph, click on Trace. A new window is pop up, displaying all the traceable signals for us to choose. These signals correspond to the y-axis variable. Select the collector current, IC. After that, click OK. A plot of current, IC against voltage VC, emerges. From the circuit diagram, we know that the collector emitter voltage, VCE, is equal to VC. Therefore, this is the correct IV plot. Next, add labels for both horizontal and vertical axes. To create the label, click on any part of the horizontal axis to open the axis setting window. When the window appears, on the x-axis sub-window, tick the Use this title option. Then, write VCE with unit volts in the axis title box. Next, on the y-axis sub-window, at the data range section, tick on User-defined option. Set the start value to negative 0.2 mA. After that, in the axis title box, type in IC, milliampere. Then, click OK. Now, both axes have been labeled with the title VCE and IC accordingly. Next, to make the characteristic lines thicker, right-click on the line. From the list of menus that appears, select the Trace property. On the Trace Properties window that emerges, click on the width in order to change the line to the preferred thickness. Once it is done, click OK. Here, we see that the selected line is more visible than before. Hence, repeat the process for the other lines. Actually, we can change the width of the lines simultaneously. To do that, select all the lines. Then, change the width of the lines, using the same process as mentioned before. Finally, we add labels to indicate the base currents of the respective lines. On the menu bar, click Plot. In the drop-down menu, choose Label, then Text. A small window of Add Modify is pop up. In the text box, key in base current IB equals 0 microampere. The font's type, size, color, etc. can be changed by pressing the Change Font button. Select the preferred properties, then click OK. Place the text label on the graph close to the correct line. Then, repeat the process for the rest of lines with IB equals 2 microamperes until 16 microamperes. Now, the collector characteristic curve is ready to be incorporated in the report. Simply click on Window at the menu bar. After that, select Copy to Clipboard. On the pop-up window, choose Change All Colors to Black option to set the background to transparent, and the line's colors to black. Click OK. Now, the graph of black and white image can be enclosed in Microsoft Word, as shown in this video. Or, you can save the results in data form, like in Excel file. To do that, click on File, Export. From the options available, select the comma-separated file. On the new pop-up window, write the output file name, BJT IV. Then, click OK. The Excel file is created in the same folder of the netlist file. What are the data that have been stored in the Excel file? Let's open it. It contains the values of voltage of collector-emitter terminals, which is equal to VC, and also the collector currents, IC, at different base current settings. We can use these data to plot the BJT collector characteristic using other softwares such as MATLAB and Origin. That's it, everyone. Thank you for watching.